I'm going to walk you through 4 types of praise that work on a completely different level than what most men usually say. These aren't cheesy lines, scripted compliments, or gimmicks meant to get a quick reaction. They're grounded in real psychology and speak directly to what many women quietly wish a man would actually notice about them. But before we go any further, there's an important warning you need to understand. These are forbidden praises for a reason. Once you use them with a woman, you can't undo the effect. They change how she sees you, and they tend to linger in her mind long after the moment passes. Let me ask you something. How many times have you complimented a woman and received nothing more than a polite smile in return? You know, the one that soft smile paired with a quick thank you that clearly signals the interaction is over. Most men don't realize what's really happening in that moment. If a woman is attractive, she has probably heard that she's beautiful dozens of times already. Those words don't land anymore. They don't register emotionally. They're like handing someone a generic award for showing up. Pleasant but forgettable. They don't change her heartbeat, they don't make her curious, and they definitely don't make her replay the moment later. Think about it this way. If someone told you, "nice jacket," and another person said, "there's something about the way you move through a room that makes people pay attention," which one would stay with you? Which one would make you wonder what they noticed that others didn't? That's the difference we're talking about. The praises I'm about to share don't end the conversation. They start something in her mind. They give her something to think about, something to revisit, something that quietly pulls her attention back to you, even when you're not there. I'm going to be very honest with you. Speaking as a woman, I know exactly how our minds respond to comments like these. I know the overthinking, the curiosity, the subtle excitement that comes from hearing something that feels precise and intentional. So, what you're getting here isn't theory, it's insight. These praises don't focus on her appearance or her clothes. Anyone can do that. They reach deeper, they touch emotions, perception, and identity. They make a woman feel genuinely seen, and that naturally makes her want to understand the man who saw her that way. The first forbidden praise is this: there's something about you I can't quite figure out yet. It sounds simple, almost understated, but that's exactly why it works so well. Most compliments give her a complete answer. You're beautiful, you're funny, you're charming. She understands what you mean immediately, and the moment ends there. This one doesn't give her closure. It opens a question. When you tell a woman there's something about her you can't fully place, you're saying that she stands out in a way that isn't obvious. You're letting her know she's different without defining her. That lack of definition is what lights her mind up. She instantly starts wondering what you noticed. What is it about me? Is it my energy, the way I talk, the way I listen? What does he see that others haven't pointed out before? And every time she turns that question over in her head, she's thinking about you. I remember being at a small gathering once where instead of the usual predictable compliment, a man said to me, "You have this calm presence that shifts the energy in a room. And I noticed it the moment you walked in." I didn't forget that comment the next day or the next week. I thought about it for weeks. I kept replaying it, trying to understand what he meant. Was it how I carried myself? The way I spoke to people? The way I listened? Every time I revisited the thought, I thought about him again. That's the power of this kind of praise. It plants a seed that keeps growing. To use this properly, timing is important. You don't open with it out of nowhere. It works best once there's already a bit of connection. Maybe she said something thoughtful. Maybe she reacted in a way that surprised you. Maybe you noticed how she interacts with people around her. You can make it more specific without fully explaining it. For example, there's something about how you make people feel at ease that I can't quite put my finger on. Or the way you look at things feels different from most people I talk to. And here's the key. Once you say it, stop. Don't over-explain. If she asks what you mean, just smile and say you're still figuring it out. That response alone can hold her attention for hours. The second forbidden praise goes even deeper. You seem like someone who has stories most people never get to hear. This works because nearly every woman feels there are parts of her that go unnoticed. Maybe people assume she's outgoing when she's actually reflective. Maybe they think she's simple when she's deeply curious. Maybe she has interests, thoughts, or experiences she rarely gets to share. When you say this, you're telling her you sense depth beneath the surface. You're not just seeing what's obvious. That's incredibly appealing. You're not complimenting her looks or her humor. You're telling her she's layered, and that immediately makes her want to reveal those layers to you. I remember a man once telling me he suspected I had at least a few interests no one would ever guess. Without thinking, I started telling him about things I rarely bring up. From obscure hobbies to random passions, I wanted him to see that his intuition was right. And as I opened up, my curiosity about him grew too, because he noticed something real. To use this effectively, tie it to the moment. Maybe she mentions a book she loves, reacts emotionally to something, or hints at a part of her life she doesn't usually talk about. You might say, "You seem like someone who's lived experiences most people wouldn't expect." Or, "You strike me as someone with talents people wouldn't guess at first glance." Then pause. Let her choose what to share. When someone opens up, they naturally feel closer to the person they shared with. That's basic psychology, and this praise activates it beautifully. The third forbidden praise carries more intensity. "I can't tell if you'd be really good for me or slightly dangerous." This one must be delivered with confidence. Say it slowly, calmly, and with intention. Most compliments place her above you, positioning you as the one seeking approval. This flips that dynamic. It subtly suggests that you're evaluating her just as much as she's evaluating you. That's powerful. It shows you have boundaries, standards, and self-awareness. It hints that she has an unpredictable, exciting side that could influence you. Women are drawn to men who stay grounded even when attracted. I once teased a man about his drink choice. And instead of reacting defensively, he looked at me and said he was starting to think I might be dangerous for his peace of mind. That sentence stayed with me for days. I kept wondering what he meant and how he saw me. That's the effect this kind of praise creates. It's best used when there's already playful tension, light flirting, or teasing. It should feel natural, not rehearsed. You might say, "She seems like trouble in the best way," or that spending time with her might completely derail your focus. It keeps curiosity alive while showing confidence. The fourth and final forbidden praise may be the most powerful of all. You think in a way I've never encountered before, and I can't tell if that's going to inspire me or drive me crazy. This targets something many women deeply want recognized: her mind. Compliments about intelligence are rare, and compliments about unique thinking are even rarer. When you acknowledge that her perspective is different, you're saying she's not just smart, she's distinctive. The added uncertainty creates tension and intrigue. I remember explaining an unusual idea once and hearing a man say, "My mind went places his never would," and he wasn't sure if that fascinated him or unsettled him. I was completely drawn in. He wasn't intimidated, he was engaged. This praise works when she shares a perspective that surprises you or shows genuine passion. After you say it, invite her to talk more. Show real curiosity. When a woman feels her mind is valued, the connection deepens far beyond surface attraction. All four of these praises share common traits. They create mystery instead of finality. They make her feel unique without putting her on a pedestal. They shift the dynamic naturally, encouraging her to invest. Most importantly, they're sincere. They come from real observation, not performance. Used honestly, they make you memorable because you become the man who notices what others miss. If this changed the way you think about attraction and communication, take a second to like the video and subscribe. More content like this is coming. And you don't want to